Hey guys, what's going on? It's Pilot Manny with the RC Plane Addict. I want to welcome you guys to my channel, a place where I get to share my passion and addiction to flying these beautiful RC planes. So, in this video, I'm going to show off the all-new Arrows SZD-54. This plane, in my personal opinion, is amazing. And for me, it's very special because it is my very first, that's right, glider. So, I'm not used to flying gliders at all. I am used to, I guess, gliding around with, my high wing planes like the Apprentice or the Husky, but I mean, technically they're not really gliders. You get them high enough, you kind of kill the throttle and just kind of mosey around through the air, but it doesn't really hang like a glider does or catch thermals and lift back up and really just stay up there. So this is going to be something new for me, and I'm really excited. I did the unboxing and the build, which was incredibly simple, in another video. I'm actually going to show you how I put it together at the field, just to show you how crazy simple it is. And then we're going to get right into the flight review and me flying it around. This is not a maiden. Unfortunately, I tried to do a maiden on video. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, so I had to scratch the whole video. But it is still my review flying this plane, and I am very, very new. I mean, this has to be probably my fourth flight, if that, on this plane. So you do still get a very true and honest opinion from someone who's relatively new to flying these types of planes with very little experience at all to flying gliders. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it. All right, let's take this bad boy up. Looks like the wind kicked in. It's probably blowing a good steady 10 miles an hour. Let's take a look over here what our weather station says. 12 mile an hour down the runway. So not too terrible. I think she can handle it. All right. Everything looks in check. I'm going to be on low rates on the elevator, low rates on the ailerons, high rates on the rudder. All right, power cuts off, into the wind. Here we go. No problem. Very cool. So it's about a little over half throttle just to kind of get it up. It really wants to climb, but I'm hesitant to adjust the to adjust anything, excuse me, the elevator, just to see how she soars, because that's really what's going to matter most. And it looks like she's dropping a little bit, so I'm going to give her a little up elevator. This is such a cool plane, and I apologize for this this view here. The sky is not the best for this plane. It's like an all-white plane, and like I feel like it silhouettes every now and again. We'll see if I can get it nice and slow to come by us here. You hear it. She has no problem fighting this window, I'll tell you that. I think the only real problem is going to be able to see it. So let's take you really high. I got my run cam on board just to show you a better perspective, so you guys aren't squinting to see my glider here. And again, I'm not trying to do any like acrobat acrobatic moves with this plane. I mean, it's not exactly an acrobatic plane. This is meant to be a glider, and this isn't the most ideal conditions. So when you're flying a glider, you really should be in, you know, a nice sunny location, low wind, so that heat can drive those thermals straight up. And if you do have some wind, you know, maybe play it off a hill, sort of like a slope soaring situation. But I gotta be honest, I'm kind of just like rushing to show you guys this plane, because this is such a really beautiful plane. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. It's a different experience for me. You know, I have the 2200 3-cell in there, so I have plenty of power. I set my timer to 8 minutes, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just tried to trim it out prior to getting it in the air for you guys, because I didn't want anything unexpected to happen, which isn't like me. I kind of like to show you the real deal. But you know what, I felt like I just want to keep this. So you see the sink, right? When I go downwind, she really just kind of wants to fall down, and I'm doing nothing but coordinated turns here. A lot of rudder, just trying to keep those ailerons working for me, to keep those wings level. You are flying this plane slow most of the time, and you know, it would be a terrible thing to wing drop it, honestly. She kind of got stopped there by the wind. Give it a little more juice to get up. I'm gonna bring it around, kind of get it in front of us. So even going downwind, she still climbs, you know, with enough throttle. And now she's right in front of me. I'm just gonna slowly back down on the throttle and just kind of let her hang there. And you can see the wind rocking it. There's no stabilization on this plane. No AS3X. I am using the 630, AR630, or 620, excuse me, which is a little sport receiver by Spectrum, 6-channel. It is only a 5-channel plane, mind you, so you don't really need that 6-channel unless you have some stabilization going on in there that you feel like more comfortable with. But honestly, this plane is, oh, a little wind got underneath my wing there. Yeah, you just kind of glide around most of the time. That's what a glider's for. Juice it when you need it. Back off when you don't.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
So, like I said, I had my timer on 8 minutes. I did trim it out a little bit. So I'm gonna run it down, you know, to what I would normally run it down to. And obviously the timer, my timer on my receiver, or excuse me, on my transmitter stops counting when I'm below 20% on my throttle. And that's just for energy conservation. And then obviously, because you're in a glider, you're gonna be hanging in the air, obviously a lot longer. The timer is really for motor on. So right now, like for example, I'm just gliding around and that timer is not on at all. It's just extra flight time for me. And you know, I heard stories you can get, you know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know, on a good day with these planes. And I'm really excited to see that, to be honest with you. We got a good push of wind now. You hear it. I hesitate to get it too low to the ground. I don't want it to get thrown on its wing unless I'm landing and committed. This is going to be a great day though for landings. I won't have to use, I guess, too much flaps. And the flap settings I have are, I think it's like just barely down for like thermals. So if I do find something that's going to be throwing me up and hanging me, I'll slow the plane down and use that to kind of fly into that space. And then obviously full flaps, full down for when I'm landing, just to really slow down that plane. She slows down really well in this wind, so I don't think I'm going to need it, to be honest with you. Look at this. This is such a cool plane. Remember, coordinated turns. I think I still need a little bit of up elevator trim, especially when I'm gliding. I feel like she's sinking a little too fast. The only problem is, you know, you give it up elevator trim, and then obviously when you throttle up, she wants the pitch up. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of those situations where you can dial in mixing, where your throttle, you know, the higher your throttle goes, the more down your elevator goes, just so you don't have that like crazy pitch up. But again, I am no expert by any stretch of the imagination on these planes. I think, you know, obviously as long as it's flying straight relatively, that's pretty good. So I'm still trimming up actually, just to see if I can keep my wings a little more trim. And then you can see as I kind of turn, I lose a little elevation. I definitely don't want to get into a porpoising kind of situation. She seems to be pretty good there. No wing flutters, the wind. Not going to be setting any speed records with this plane, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's very relaxing. I got to be honest with you. I'm out here, and it's just it's super calming. It's like I'm not stressed at all. I'm kind of just just flying. I don't know how else to explain it. You know, you want to come out and just have like a low stress flight. This is probably your best bet. Kind of just taking it way up there. You can see she kind of dropped the wing on that turn on me, but I kind of want her to hang in the wind for as long as possible here, right over the field. This is definitely one of those planes where like you want to send it 400 feet to the ceiling and just like hang it up. Gotta like maybe a little less than 2 minutes. I'm gonna send it up. Going for it. See if we can get some good flight here. It's the sky I'm worried about. Okay, so there's my minute timer. So at this point, I'm gonna end my flight, or my motor time, I suppose, with this climb, and I'm just gonna glide around. I'm gonna glide back down to the ground. I'm not gonna push down on anything. I'm gonna try to hang it and keep it level, and just let it soar. I really hope you guys are getting good footage from that run cam on board. I think that's gonna make it all the more worth it, especially since it's probably like a little dot on my head cam right now. Very cool. Oh yeah, she's doing great. Just hanging up there. I mean, you know, like I said before, it's like 12 to 15 on the ground here. I can't imagine what it's like up there. It's obviously a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm just gliding, and I'm moving like ever so slowly into the wind. And she's holding really level. I gotta be honest with you, it's not too crazy. All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna give a little throttle just so I can maintain altitude for this turn, my final approach. I think I'm gonna go just the one setting of flaps down, which I called thermal mode. Set it into the wind. Again, I'm just using a lot of rudder to help me with my turns. Give it a little down just to get it a little lower, and just rest into it. Nice.
Throttle cut.
All right, so 38 seconds left on an 8-minute timer. I can't wait to see what my battery looks like. And this will tell you more or less, like, you know, just how efficient this plane is. Obviously, I was flying for longer than 8 minutes. The time of this flight is a lot less than 8 minutes because I had spent 3 minutes flying the plane already. So, you know, if you use that as a comparison of 5 minutes of battery on the motor versus however long this flight was on this video, that'll give you a good idea. All right, set this down. Nice and cool. Barely warm. Barely warm. Oh. 29% left. So I was using this battery a little more heavily than I normally would because of obviously the wind. But yeah, 8 minutes on the timer with moderate use and obviously a lot of gliding, and that's what you can expect. All right guys, well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize about the poor conditions, but you know what? Oh my God, look at this thing. You know, it's not always going to be perfect, but you should know that, you know, you can go out and you can buy a plane that's relatively inexpensive and not have to worry about, you know, when is the perfect day for me to fly. You know, it's quiet out. There is a little bit of wind. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit more than that would be comfortable for some people, but I'm fine with it. And you know what? This bird was not out of control. It really wasn't. In fact, I'm gonna throw another battery in here and just get another flight out of it. So yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, please hit me up in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and have a great day, guys. Oh, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. Peace.